We live in a world where there are many ways to make money, especially just working from your laptop remotely. There's a variety of options and choices, and there's many paths to building skills and gaining knowledge and being able to make money from your laptop. And if you're anything like me, you probably have a long list of things that you can think of that you're interested in. I'm doing a course right now with the Backpacking family on remote work, and one of the things that stands out in their big long list of remote work opportunities is that there's quite a number that I look at and I think, oh, that sounds really interesting. I could see myself doing that. And in fact, they even highlighted and made the list, and there was quite a lot. I was also reading the book recently. I'll say recently, go a few months ago. I always go back and have a little reread of the book because it's really helpful. And it's called Be a Free Range Human. It's definitely worth a read. And the Backpacking Family course is definitely worth checking out. I recommend both. But in the book, what's interesting is that she talks about a bespoke career and a portfolio career. And if you're someone like me who has a lot of interests, there's lots of ways you can see yourself making money. You're quite into gaining knowledge and building skill sets and self development. And therefore, you think, well, I can do many things. And maybe you like variety. You don't want to just do the same thing over and over again for the rest of your life. You want to shake things up, mix things up. You want to do maybe some social media marketing one day, then the next day you switch and do some coding before flipping it around again and doing some work in finance. It's kind of where I am. I'm quite interested in technology and coding. I'm interested in finance and business. And I'm also interested in media, such as YouTube, social media, marketing, that sort of thing. They're just to name a few at the top of my head. There are other things that have popped up as well, such as doing marketing for hotels where you travel around, you do all the pictures, you do the copywriting, you do all the marketing side of it, you manage the social media. There's a whole host of options out there. And that's just the ones where you work for yourself, where you are effectively your own boss. And working from your laptop has also meant that you can travel anywhere in the world and do it. And therefore, the array of choices has gotten even bigger. So, in the midst of all that chaos, there's actually good news in all of this. And in the book, it specifically talks about a bespoke career and a portfolio career. Now, a bespoke career is basically taking a choice of work, a job, or starting a business, but not doing it the way that you've been told to do, or following tradition, or doing it the way that everyone else does it. A bespoke career is like taking a job or taking a business and putting your own twist on it. So take lifestyle coaching, for example. Well, you've got to be professional. You've got to do this, and this. Well, that gets quite boring and dull. You want to add your own mix to it. You want to put your personality and who you are into that business venture. And therefore, you might do lifestyle coaching completely different to the way the rule books tells you to do it. That's entrepreneurial. Starting a business, just say, well, I'll just take the lifestyle coaching idea that I've been taught by, I don't know, some big lifestyle coach out there, and I'm just going to copy and paste. Well, that's not going to work. You're just going to be like everybody else. A bespoke career is putting your own twist on it and say, well, you know what, actually, my unique selling point is in this lifestyle coaching business, for example, might be that, sometimes the client needs telling to, shut up and grow up. They need that straight shoot. Yeah, that straight shot. They're a straight shooter. They need to be told straight exactly how it is. Bluntness works. Sometimes you need to have a laugh and a joke as well. Well, you can't do that. You'll be professional. You can't smile. You can't laugh. You've got to follow this rule book that we've laid out for you, this step by step. It doesn't work for you. And actually, it can make you hate doing whatever it is you're doing. It might make you hate lifestyle coaching, but actually, when you put your own twist on it, all of a sudden that changes the game. The second thing that she talks about is a portfolio career. And if you're like me, lots of interest, although I recommend you pick one, focus on that, build that up a little bit, then move on to the next thing. But one thing at a time. There's a book called The One Thing worth reading about that as well. But if you're like me and you want variety, you've got a whole host of interests, you can see yourself doing a number of things, well, then you're in luck. A portfolio career is exactly what you're looking for, because I can tell you from someone who feels like that, it's what I'm looking for in life. Yes, there's some things that I love more than others, but genuinely speaking, I like the idea of waking up and just doing different jobs on different days, shaking it up, not doing the same thing and being in a rut. So right now I'm working on a bookkeeping business. I want to try and get that going and get that started. But I don't just want to do that for the rest of my life. As much as I want to do further studies, become a chartered accountant, in finance, which is a huge step for me. However, the path I'm choosing is going to broaden my horizon in terms of finance, not just be purely accounts. It's going to open me up to a whole host of opportunities in finance, not just one, not just doing, compliance nonsense. But the point is, I don't want to just do that. I quite like the idea of maybe some days I shake it up and I do a little bit of trading. I'm interested in stocks, I'm interested in economics. That fits in with finance as well. I can utilize what I've learned in finance and I can do that as well. That shakes it up a little bit. Maybe then I think, well, actually, I'm quite good at my social media marketing. I'm not, by the way, I've not even started doing this for my business yet. But let's say I'm good. We'll go with the flow on this one. Let's be optimistic, yeah? I'm going to be good. I'm going to be awesome at it, yeah? Well, let's say I get good at it and someone says, well, actually, could you do my social media marketing? Well, hang on a minute, there's an opportunity. So you pick it up and you say, yeah, I'll do that, sure. And there's something else you do. So now all of a sudden I've got 3 things that I'm capable of doing. Trading, I've got to keep on top and manage things, but you can structure that in a way where it doesn't take that much out of your time each day, depending on how you trade. That's another story, but that doesn't take up that much time in theory. Bookkeeping depends on the time of the month, how many clients you've got, etc. But you can maybe say, well, I can fit social media marketing. That's something I can do quite well. So I'll take that on and that might work. Well, then you say, well, these are all great. But then all of a sudden, like me, you might be thinking, actually, I quite like coding. I like coding, by the way. I don't know why. For me, it's like doing a crossword or a Sudoku or something like that. I hate crosswords, Sudokus, and word searches. But coding for me, it works. I enjoy it. I don't know why I find it quite relaxing. I find finance quite relaxing, actually. There's some aspects of it which, for some strange reason, even in the exam, and I hate exams, but even in the exam, I was actually quite calm doing it. It was quite therapeutic. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent. But let's say coding, I get good at it. I'm not good at it right now, but I'm still early days. But let's say I get good at it, and all of a sudden I sit back and think, well, actually, I could do web development. Well, that's another thing that I can do. Now, web development is not going to be guaranteed every day works flying in through the door, but it may be the case if it comes up on occasion. It may be the case that I just now and then have to update and maintain a website, that sort of thing. Again, that's another career choice. It's another arrow to your quiver, as one of my bosses always tells me. The more skills you get, so all of a sudden you just start to realize, well, actually, you wake up and every day is a bit different. Every day is a bit exciting, and every day you're doing something different. And that's just an example from kind of what I'm looking at right now. Maybe the case I wake up one day and I say, I'm going to do a bit of YouTube today. It may be the case that, maybe I am traveling the world, taking pictures of hotels and writing about them, doing the copyright and the management for them, or for the social media, all of that nonsense. That may be the case. And that's something else that I can do. But when you're someone like me, you're interested in many things. You love self-development. You love learning. You love building skills and gaining knowledge. Then this is actually a really good option for you. I know it's a good option for me. I know it's genuinely something that I want to pursue. I know it's something that it just clicked for me. As soon as I read about it in the book, it was like, boom, there we go. It's just that's me. That's what I've been looking for, and that's what I want. And actually, what that does is it takes the pressure off you to get it right the first time. You haven't got to get the perfect career. Just do something that you find really interesting. It might be building a Shopify store. Great, go for it. Start there. There's a good starting point. It may be a case of you just buying and selling things and doing that. Well, great, that's a starting point. Maybe you want to get into remote sales. Great, that's a starting point. But don't think you've got to stick to that one thing forever. You haven't. You can broaden out, you can expand, and as you develop skills, meet people, you'll start to realize actually you're capable of much more and you're interested in much more. So if you're interested in many things, you're looking at a lot of options out there, you want to live that laptop lifestyle, you want to have that portfolio career, then, just pick something that you're interested in, build that up, and then move on. And then as you're working on that, then you can move on and add something else to the mix just to spice things up and keep things interesting in life. So portfolio career, maybe it's for you, but I know for one thing, it is definitely for me.